Well, guys, the cloud layer has blown off a little bit and it has warmed up a little bit, but I think my wife pointed out to me that it wasn't that chilly. I actually was just, I think I'm running a little bit of a fever. So, who knows? Ooh, kicked it. But here we go with the second video of the day. We are going to take another look at the Ferrum Forge design Massdrop Buc, the Buccaneer, because there were some changes to this. The action on this is way better than it was in a prototype. Flipper tab's been changed, but we'll take a look. I'm not gonna pull up. I suppose I could go get some screenshots of the old prototype, but I mean there has been some definite changes, improvements to this since I did the video about it. So this isn't gonna be all that long a video, but we will get into it because I guarantee there are some people that have not seen this knife. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Don't know why I did that. I have no idea why I did a cut. I could have just kept going, but I guess that's where we'll put the intro instead of at the very beginning. So what you got is, just like I said with the prototype, full titanium handles, steel hardware, steel screws, backspacer. It's got a full titanium backspacer with a lanyard hole, with jimping. It has some jimping here that is not, as I always say, vestigial. It actually serves a purpose. Vestigial is like when something doesn't actually serve a purpose anymore. It's there, you get jimping. They expanded the finger choil and now you can get up into that area. And some changes to flipper tabs. So we'll turn it around and we'll look at it from top down and we'll take a look at the Ferrum Forge Buc. So, all right guys. Oh, here we go. Now I have refinished this, so this is not a standard color. It is a standard color option, but I changed some of the colors on mine. I like the I like having a little bit of contrast. So it's blue there, bronze, then blue. It breaks it up a little bit. So mine has been refinished, but what we're looking at here is, there's mine, S35BN, as you said, mine's serial number OZ166. Now this is really thin, guys. No joke. Probably one of the thinnest. It's thinner than my gent behind the edge. It honestly is. It's really broad, so there's a lot of room to make that taper. They broadened out. So if you remember my previous video, I had said that I didn't like the finger choil. It was a little bit small. They actually opened it up from what would have been about there, which was okay, but it was tight for guys with big fingers like me. And now it is a full, I can get my whole finger in there, full finger choil. So, flipper tab got redesigned. So that flipper tab has been rounded over. The first one was square, almost like the flipper tab on a Torrent. That just stuck out and was kind of square. And it was a little uncomfortable. Pocket clip was repositioned at a different angle. It is, once again, it's a sculpted pocket clip. I'm not a fan of them. I wish these had wire clips, but the bent clips, but you know, I guess it's just the way it's gonna be. But blade on this is a satin, I guess you'd call, yeah, it's a satin is what I would call it. It scratches pretty easy. I'm not a fan of the finish. This will probably get refinished before I'm done. I'm getting chewed up by mosquitoes out here, guys. I might have to get done with this afternoon and get back inside. So it's almost a cleaver. I'd say it's a modified, if I was to call it anything, I'd say it looks more like a modified sheep's foot to me, because did it again. You've got the edge here and then it's swept back. Kind of rounded, you know, it's got a good bit of belly, so it's kind of in between like a Warncliffe and some of the other styles. I do like the fact that it still has a significant point that I can use for doing, like if I need to puncture into something and then make the cut. Sometimes the cleaver styles don't give you as much of that. Now, so this was designed looking at Asian style swords, specifically the ring sword. Now they called it the Buc because it does have that buccaneer style pirate-esque look to it. But all in all, I really do like this knife. I carry it. It has been in my pocket pretty much since Matt gave it to me. I wanted to give it a good hard use. I mean, and you can see it's been being used. It's been pocketed. I just cleaned it up. It still has got some patina. I used it in the kitchen the other day. That's a little bit of a stain that I got on it. I cut some tomatoes and left it on there for a little bit, and then when I came back and washed it, there's still some, almost looks like a hamon on there. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to say that it is not, that it's not holding up to or standing up to acids and things like that, as some people have said that the gent didn't. It's S35E, it's a stainless steel. It's not stain proof. It is stain resistant. As a matter of fact, I've gotten some of my 20 CV knives to actually get a little bit of surface rust on them. Like I said, steel hardware, steel pivot, ceramic bearings, ceramic detent ball. It's extremely smooth. Detent on it's real good. Detent on it's actually awesome. It fires with authority. Closes up nice. You got the finger opening aperture. Mine is starting to break into the point where I might be able to. Nah, mine's still a little bit too stiff for that. I can't get my thumb in there the way I want. So steel lock bar insert with the detent ball set in it, and a full titanium backspacer. So not much else to say on it, guys. The stock is nice and thin compared to other knives that I've carried where it takes a lot to overcome that thickness. You got to have a broad blade, which this does. But let's get this turned around and we'll close up with that. Yeah, I mean, this is just like revisiting. It's like revisiting this knife after it went into production and you got the actual production. There's always some little differences. So like I said, guys, I was absolutely not trying to do a full revisiting of this knife. Like I did the initial video, like I said, with the prototype. There was just some minor changes. People had complained about finishes and that they were plain, and there was no, I'm sorry, that was the Fortis 2.0, which, as you guys have seen, Fortis 2.0, like I said, are $200 for that plain Jane. Well, they came in 3 or 4 options. So now the one that is hitting Massdrop right now is the Dow, which is, I mean, they're cousins. They are very, very similar in sweep of the blade. The blade shape's different. The backspacer's a little bit different, but they are very, very similar. And I mean, I thought I wanted the Dow so bad until I got this, and then I realized that this is pretty good. And as far as sharpness, with these being fairly thin, and when I say fairly thin, I mean like they're really thin behind the edge, they are just screaming sharp. They come that way from the factory, but I'm not a fan of factory edges, so I used it, and the first time I used it on some pretty coarse stuff, and I chipped the edge a little bit, and then I had to resharpen it, which was going to happen anyway. So I mean, they get screaming sharp. This one I only took to 2,000 grit. I'm sorry, 3,000. No, 3,000. This is a 3,000 grit edge that then I stropped pretty good. But yeah, they are ridiculously sharp when you get them sharp and good, because they're so thin behind the edge. So, all right, guys, that's it. That's it for the day. That's the end of the videos. There might be a live feed tomorrow. I might go to the shop tomorrow. Don't know. Who knows? You never can tell. Tut tut. Looks like rain. Never can tell with bees. You guys take it easy. Yes, that was a Winnie the Pooh reference. You guys take it easy. and I'll see you later.